What's up, guys? Today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna go through some of the houses in our portfolio in this series, and we're just kind of gonna go through like the numbers, maybe how we found the deal, and some like problems that we've encountered and how we solved them. And then of course, everybody's favorite, how much money we made from these properties over the years. So today we're gonna talk about one of my favorites. This is the Duplex. What's up, guys? It's your boy Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action on Instagram. Follow me over there so that way you guys can see what I do actively. In the day, I'm typically like showing exactly what I'm doing, or the properties that I'm viewing, or sellers that I'm talking to, or the houses that we're cleaning. And then here I'm actually giving that information so you guys can implement to do what we do over on Instagram. So definitely follow me over on Instagram, and so we can so we can learn, earn, and grow and make money together. So but today I wanted to go through, one of my favorite properties is definitely like, one that kind of hits me right here. I really like this property. I really do. This one I actually found by way of me starting to market and get out there. Okay, like one thing that a lot of people will do is in their local market, they'll go to the RIA, and that's how they'll make new relationships and like earn some kind of, digital currency, some kind of authority inside of your market. That's typically what people do. But myself, I really don't like people, like on the low, if I could be an old person, without a phone and be good, I would do that, So having to get through, all of my introvertness, on the phone and being a salesperson and talking to people and being uncomfortable and training people and hiring and all that good stuff. On top of that, when I get home, I really don't like to do that kind of stuff anymore. I like to just be my old country chill self, hang out with the kids, be in the garden, jump on the motorcycle, just be me. And so for a long time, I would have my guys that I hired, as acquisition or disposition, I would have them go to the RIA meetings or go to the showings when we're selling our buyers' properties, so that way I didn't have to do that portion. Okay, and through that, they would, almost market for us. They would bring our Triad discount home signs. We had like little retractables that we put up for the meetings. They would recruit and say, hey, yo, we're hiring sales guys. Get in here, let's make some money. They would be our local face. And after doing that for a while, we start to get people who would want to come in for training, and they would train with me. And so this deal came from one of those guys, Anthony Curtis. That's my guy. I'll actually link to an interview that we did with Anthony. He's definitely one of the, I'd say one of my like most consistent students that still continuously do the business every month, and it has a lot of success from it. Very proud of Anthony. He's a good dude. But so I got this deal from Anthony. And so when we got it, man, well, when he had it, he shot it over there to us. He didn't think that we was gonna want it, but it was a couple blocks over from my school, and both sides were rented out, but a complete mess of a property. We ended up buying it for $35,000. Like I said, it's a duplex, one bedroom style studios, no doors, shotgun style. Okay, shotgun style just means that if a bullet went through the house, it's going all the way through the house and through every room. It's a living room, bedroom, kitchen, and then bathroom, back door. It's a shotgun house. And so we picked it up for $35,000. This was when I was really getting the hang of, I was willing to practice raising money for deals to keep them versus reselling it. So without any hesitation in all faith, I went in under contract at $35,000, $2,000 non-refundable, and I needed to raise money to actually get some of the work done. Okay, so this is where the numbers piece I want you guys to start to understand. So I didn't raise the money on like a perfect, I knew exactly what I was doing kind of thing. I raised $45,000 on a 20-year note from one of my quote unquote cash buyers that I had sold to before. And so I'm making a monthly payment. So our first monthly payment is $591. Okay. When we first bought it, Adrian and Mark were living there. They were both paying $350 a month, right? So that's $700. Now, at the time, my thing was I didn't really harp on the sellers on getting me rent rolls to see if people had been paying or if they were on time or if they owed. I was just, hey, it's a deal, let's get it. You know, no details, let's close. You know, it's definitely not the thing to do now, but that's what I was doing then in order to, you know, in order to grow as fast as I could. Our first mortgage was $591. Okay, like I said, we raised $45,000. We purchased it from Anthony for $35,000, so that left us $10,000. Okay, now I knew I needed to do something to the property. You know, I knew the $10,000 wasn't going to cover everything that had to be done, but I figured, hey, use the $10,000 to fix it up a little bit, increase the rents so that way it covers my mortgage. Okay, and in this case, this is a duplex. It was converted into a duplex, so it has one entry and one exit for water and sewer. So I, as the landlord, pay for it. So I had to make sure that the new rent would cover the mortgage of $591, the water, of course, my insurance, and any maintenance that I would have to incur. So what I ended up doing was we did the roof, we replaced the fascia and the soffit, and then we painted the exterior and did the porch railings. Okay, I'm pretty sure I ended up spending a whole $10,000 on just giving the front a nice clean makeover. Okay, I didn't even talk to the tenants at that point. I just went ahead and had my guys do the exterior makeover. It took a couple weeks. And once I got done with the makeover, that's when I asked them for the rent increase. I said, hey, you know, we picked it up from the seller. You know, we got to increase rents because we're going to make the living arrangements, you know, nicer for you. Actually, I made this video. I'll link it right up here. I think it's one of the best videos I ever did. I'm wearing a pink shirt in it. I'll link it right here so you guys can check it out. I went to them after we got it all pretty on the exterior, and I says, hey, we're going to make the living arrangements better. You know, your new rent is going to be $500 a month. Okay, crazy. Should have went more than that, but I went from $350 to $500. So I figured, great, $1,000 a month. Great, my mortgage is $591. Insurance and taxes, probably $50 a month each. You know, and the water bill's another $100. So I'm not making a lot of money at that point, but it's paying for itself. Now, so I allowed this to continue because I knew, you know, I didn't want to raise the prices at that time so much to where it would encourage them to leave, and then I have a whole renovation on my hands. But I did want to let them know that I was a new landlord and this is how I like for my business to run. So we wasn't making very much money, and that probably lasted maybe for about 8 months. And Mark, who was Unit B, he began to become late, and you know, surely enough, we end up having to get him out. Okay, we end up having to get him out, and he left behind a ton of stuff. Okay, I'll see if I can send some video so Isaiah can put it in the B-roll. But he left a ton of stuff and a huge renovation for us. And luckily, my wholesale business was working. So what we end up doing is we end up spending about $18,000 on side B. So I'm $45,000 in. Now, you know, another $18,000 on top of that. And my sister ended up renting that side from us, where we ended up renting that one for $800. So now we're making $500 and we're making $800. And I end up going up on the rent again with Adrian. We hadn't done any more work on his side really, but him seeing us do the work on side B, you know, there was value in that. There was value in that. And so we ended up going on the rent on him again to $550. Okay, so at this point, we started making $1350 on it. Super cool, okay? Super cool. We're making $1350 and we're $63,000 in, and we're making $1350. Great numbers, right? And so Miracle stayed there maybe for another 7 months, and then she decided to leave. This is when the magic really kicked in, okay? This is when the magic kicked in. When she decided to leave, like I said, I had replaced everything brand new because I knew my sister was moving in and it needed it. So I figured, let me do a short-term rental on this side. Let me do a short-term rental. And I had done Airbnbs before, on on an arbitrage. I was just renting a house and then re-renting it on Airbnb, but I didn't have like a lot of success with it. But I wanted to try it again because, things is different. I'm better. And so I invested another $6,000 in furniture, and then I invested another $7,000 in an HVAC unit. Okay, so how much am I in now? So now I'm $76,000 in. And this is when the magic happens. So I just put it into my IGMS of how much money I've made in the last 13 months. Okay, in the last 13 months, just on that one side, okay, I've made $33,000 just on the Airbnb side. And from Adrian's side now, since I provide internet over there, for the Airbnb, I asked Adrian, hey man, would you like for your internet to be included in your rent? Because I noticed he was using a hotspot from his phone. So he said, yeah. I went up on the rent to $675. Okay, so rent on his side is now $675. So for the last year, he's been bringing me like another $8,000. So every year, every year from this one property, I bring in $41,000. I bring in $41,000 from this one duplex that I am now $73,000 total on. Okay, great, super good numbers, super good numbers. Now here's when things start to go bad. Okay, that doesn't change anything about the deal, but I'm so grateful how the way things worked out. I'm so grateful that that I have so much equity in the property that I can do stuff like this. But since the market turned, I had one property. This was like really in the beginning. I had one property that it could have been a little bit more rehabbed. I could have had better tenants. It could have appraised for more, and that's when the first interest rate, rate kind of happened. I end up being about $40,000 short on another duplex that I own on Elwood. And my private money guy, in this particular case, he didn't see it as being my fault, and we had several deals together. So he said what he would do with the remainder of the funds from the refinance. My refinance was short $40,000. We would just add the 40 on the back end of his loan on my duplex. Perfect for me, great, I love it. So now my total that I'm in on this joint is $73,000. So I'm $116,000 in, and the property brings in $41,000. So technically now I have a total mortgage of $1,041 plus insurance plus taxes, so $50 a month each, and plus the water bill, another $100 a month for each, but I still cash flow. Let's do the math so that I can give you the exact numbers. But I still cash flow about $1,600 net on this one particular deal. Now, I definitely like telling you about some of the things because everybody believes because they see us on making videos and and things are consistent. Business is definitely consistent, but people assume that it's easy because you're seeing it after the fact, and now I'm just telling the story. But people don't actually see all the different challenges you actually encounter. Because one thing I forgot to mention is like I had went over my original budget when Mark moved out. I thought I was gonna be about $10,000 to fix it up. It ended up costing me $18,000. And so I'm honestly grateful that my sister wanted to move in because it made it easier. It made it easier for me, to finish my project because she pays 6 months in advance. But people don't get to see the full picture. Now, great, is it still a great deal? Property is still worth about $160,000. The neighbors just sold theirs for. I'm in about $116,000, and my net cash flow is $1,600. Is that a great deal? Is that a good deal? I don't know. You guys tell me your perspective. But until then, let me know how you guys feel about my cash flow. Also, let me know how you feel about what we did on the exterior. Check out that B-roll. And until then, man, we'll see you on the next one. Okay, you guys, peace, man. We'll do another update on this one soon.